Hi there, welcome to Metro Woman.
It's a show for women and about women.
Today we're somewhere kind of special, aren't we, Tam?
Yes, we are. We're in my high school alma mater, Kemper Catholic High School in Carroll, Iowa.
I didn't go to anywhere in high school in Carroll, but there were so many towns that the show is only a half an hour. I can't list them all. But I did enjoy high school.
They got tired of Sonia. They passed her on quickly.
Yeah, I had to go to a lot of places. And then I went right to college, but not everybody does that.
No,
Sometimes people go back to school at a later point in their lives, and it can be a challenge, a struggle.
Right.
But they're just inspired to do so. And I think we've talked to some pretty fascinating people today.
Yes, we have.
About that life path, just taking a different direction.
And you know, no path is like the path for everyone.
No.
And when it takes a little change or a twist, that's okay. Today, Sonia and I are splitting up. I will be spending time at the William Penn College for Working Adults campus speaking with Molly Moeller, who is Director of Enrollment. And she will give us a lot of tips on how to get started, how to stay involved, and how to make it work with our busy schedules.
And I'm talking to Kathy Wright over at Merrily Greeley in Ames. She's one of the success stories of the William Penn program.
Yes, very touching story.
Both great interviews. I hope everybody gets a lot out of them.
You'll learn a lot today, so stay with us on Metro Woman.
So today we're talking about going back to school, continuing our education, and we've got Kathy Wright with us, who is a success story coming out of William Penn. And tell us a little bit, what prompted you to make the decision to say, I'm going to go back and get my education?
Probably the fact that I had teenage sons that were trying to think about what they wanted to do when they got out of college or out of high school and go to college. And it was kind of one of those moments of my life I thought, how can I preach about this if I haven't actually done it myself? And so my husband and I both at that time decided to go back to school and get our education done so that we could show our kids how it needed to be done.
So the first time around you came out of high school and you didn't go to college, your life path went another direction?
We did. We started our family young. We had our kids young. We had some successes in the jobs that we were in. They worked out for our family, and you know, things had gone well, and we'd done well until that point, and it was just kind of one of those aha moments. This is something we really need to do, and from the moment that we felt that way and moved forward, it was the best thing that we've ever done.
As Sonia looks around Merrily Greeley with Kathy, my visit today is with Molly Moeller, Director of Enrollment at William Penn's College Campus for Working Adults. I've got lots of questions to pose for anyone thinking about going back to college. Well, Molly, thank you so much for being with us today on Metro Woman. And we have so many questions to ask you about William Penn and the college or university setting. So tell us first of all what you do at William Penn.
Well, I'm responsible for all of the recruiting function and student accounts at the university for our adult program.
Okay, and your title is?
Director of Enrollment.
Enrollment, okay. Well, speaking of enrollment, what is the enrollment here at William Penn, and has it changed over the years?
You know what, we've been fairly steady. We're right around that 700 mark for students for that adult program again. Recruiting is something with the adult program that maintaining it is absolutely a remarkable feat to be able to do, because adults have such very busy schedules.
Exactly.
And life happens, and especially these last several months, life has happened for a whole lot of people.
Exactly, I can imagine that. And I'm very interested in finding out how people do stay focused enough to commit to going back to college, and what are some of the things that William Penn does to help people in that way?
Well, you know, that's one of the areas that we really excel in the market. Okay. We have a program that allows adults to attend class one night a week, 6 until 10 p.m.
All right.
And in the structure that we have built for classes, they are considered full-time students. So they can also utilize financial aid to return to school. So that combination is a very unique opportunity for adults.
I can see that, yes.
And it helps many people come back and be able to focus.
Right.
Adults have an amazing ability when they can focus on one topic at a time to be able to focus and do that topic and still have life going on in the background.
And I'm sure as they get involved in the program, they get more focused and more excited, as would you with anything. The longer you're with us something, it gets even better and better.
It's absolutely true. We also have a component in the program that they utilize study teams. So when they start, they have an opportunity to make lots of good friends and have a good support group to go through as well. So I liken it for some people, we're able as adults to make time to do weekly events, whether it's a bowling league, softball, whatever that might be.
Right.
Many people find that school is sort of that hobby for them as well.
Sure.
Moms like the night out.
Yes.
They can be with adults. They have stimulating conversation, they're challenged, and they're with colleagues.
Yes, and I was going to say that has to be one of the best parts of it, when you have peers that are going through the same ups and downs and the hurdles and the jobs and the family to juggle around, and to be able to sit down and visit with them, like, how are you doing it, and how am I adjusting, am I on, doing it as well as you are, and like just having easy conversations about it must help a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, I can see that.
People who understand.
Yes.
Who have full-time jobs,
Sure.
full-time families,
Yeah.
And workload.
Sure.
Their school workload. Yep. So that work-life balance becomes a very critical component for them to have people who understand.
Right. I can see that.
I saw the program from William Penn that, could fit into my work schedule, and
so you didn't have to put your life totally on hold.
Absolutely
to
not.
have to do it. Okay.
No, it was something that we could make work with our family, and it was kind of interesting. I thought, oh sure, mom's gone to class and mom's studying, and so the kids will stop studying and stop doing homework, and it was really kind of cool because our family kind of grew with that. And actually, when I started going back to school and my husband was taking classes, our kids' grades actually improved. So
wow.
It was kind of a cool thing.
Maybe I should try that.
More on going back to college when we come back on Metro Woman. Universities in general, what are people really drawn to when they go back to school? What are some of the reasons or some of the catalysts that make them, because it's a huge commitment, not only financially but time-wise. So what would you say is a major player in committing to going back to school?
Well, there are a couple things that really drive people. One of those big drivers right now is independence. How do I deal with our world now?
Yes.
How do I have the skill set to go into an environment and excel?
Sure.
How do I learn those tools?
Right.
That's a lot of what happens. We have a very practical program.
Yes.
So we try to give people those tools to be able to operate out in the world. Other people look for it. It's a personal challenge for them. It's something that they've always wanted to do. It's a very personal commitment for them to go back and earn their degree.
Sure.
Maybe along the way they didn't have the opportunity but wanted to. Sometimes people maybe don't ever get into that step because they don't know what they want to be when they grow up. And sometimes people find themselves grown up and they're still not sure what they're going to be, but they know they want a degree.
Right.
And so we have a lot of people who come in and that's what they're really focused on, is having that milestone in their life.
Right.
And something else that rings very strong for our adult students is setting that example for their children.
Oh, good point.
So if they did not achieve that, traditionally,
right,
but they want to have that impact for their children, a lot of people go, you know what, I want to show them.
Yeah, that's a wonderful example.